Hello?
I wanted to make this video because I've been getting a lot of questions about how to have money to travel, how much does it cost to travel, how much do certain trips cost. And while not every trip have I kept really close, it's really bad to say. My dad's gonna be like, terrible way to handle their finances. But I don't normally calculate everything at the end of a trip, like be like, okay, this is the total sum I spent. But for Hawaii, because we were traveling with 9 people total, and really everyone was kind of strangers. I mean, everybody knew at least one other person, or I knew Hannah and Rebecca, but we had only known each other for a couple months at that point. So if you missed those vlogs, I'll put those right up here so you can check them out. They are honestly some of my favorite travel vlogs. I wanted to share with you guys exactly what we spent. This is how much our full week in Hawaii cost. And when I say our, I mean this is like the baseline for me. I just want to preface this, I did not really go like the discount saving money route. I was so excited to be there again that I was like, I'm here, I'm gonna go out to eat whenever I have the chance and try all the local food. Anything on an island is gonna be a little more expensive, and that's why I was so shocked at when I finally put all these numbers together at how much money I actually spent versus like what I thought I had spent. For some reason I thought I spent so much more. I definitely spent more than some of the people in the group. I already talked for way too long, obviously. So the first thing I bought was the flight. We had planned it in, I want to say December, which was a month before the trip. We'd gone in January. So it's not that far in advance. You can definitely save money if you plan farther in advance. I know some of the people that went got an alert for like a discounted flight from where they lived, and they lived in the Midwest, so their prices definitely were different than mine. Flying from New York is obviously more expensive because you're on the far end of the country. You have to fly all over all of America to get to Hawaii. So my flight total was $736 because I have a Chase
Sapphire
Reserve, I forget. But it's a great card because I get 3 times the points on travel and 3 times the points on dining out, which I do both of a lot. So I use those points towards the flight, something that equated to $601.60. My flight ended up only costing me $135.01. The spontaneity of it also kind of made it fun for me though, so absolutely worth it. Although the flight was a little bit pricey, you can get the prices down if you plan ahead. The next expense that kind of came along with the flight is luggage. So I checked a bag, although it was only 1 week and you really needed bikinis, flip-flops, and like shorts. But knowing me, I packed way too many clothes. So I checked one bag there, that was $25. And then on the way home, I checked my bag, but I had a bag of shoes that made it too heavy and they didn't let the 2 pounds over, so I had to carry that plastic bag with shoes. And since I ended up buying an economy ticket, or a economy saver ticket with United, I understand it's the rules, but the guy was being so rude. I was like, please, like they're just a pair of shoes. I can't put it on. If it was a jacket, I'd just put it on. Can I please just like carry the shoes? I'll keep them on my lap. I'm not using any overhead space. That was their big thing. Like, you're not allowed overhead space with this ticket. That's fine. I'm not gonna use it. Just pretend it's like 2 extra pounds on my body. So on the way home, I had to check 2 bags because they made me check my plastic bag with shoes tied in it. So that was $75 total. So right there, that's $210.01. The next expense was Airbnb. So the first Airbnb, we stayed in the North Shore. And up there, we found one that wasn't actually in the North Shore, it turned out. I'll link it below in case you guys want to stay there if you've seen the vlogs. The location wasn't that great because it wasn't, in fact, North Shore. Like, you had to drive quite a bit to get there. That being said, it wasn't that bad. That was $210 a night for 2 nights. And then there was a $125 cleaning fee, a $70.31, I forget what fee, taxes, added fee, I don't know. So that came out to $615.31 divided by the 9 people that were staying there. That was only $68 per person for 2 nights. So that's $34 a night, which is honestly unheard of. The second Airbnb we chose was in the Waikiki area because after exploring the North Shore, we wanted to go to the other side of the island. I don't know why I'm acting like there's a diagram right here. So the second Airbnb was $302 a night. Then there was a $285 fee for the neighborhood we were in. I was very confused and sketched out about this in the beginning, but it turns out in that neighborhood, it was a beautiful neighborhood. They have certain fees because of, I guess, the pollution in water, and they do everything they can to preserve the nature as well as let you live there. So I don't know, there was an added fee or tax that we paid. It was $825. So total it was $2,763 divided by 9 people, which is $307 a person for 5 nights. So if you which I didn't do the math, roughly $62 a night, which still I think is a steal. And especially if you go watch the vlogs, this house was beautiful. I mean, this house was crazy. I mean, there were white carpets, which poses a little bit of an issue, and a scale in a bathroom that shouldn't have been there. That's a story if you know the vlogs, but $62 a night per person isn't bad. So total for that Airbnb was $307. For housing, it was $375 a person for a full week on the island of Oahu, which honestly I think is a steal. It's very manageable. Granted, we were with 9 people total, so that definitely helped, but you know, invite some strangers. We ended up being really great friends. I don't know if that's the best advice. Don't blame me if you invite strangers and it doesn't go well. Yikes. Another large expense was the car rentals. We rented 2 cars because we had to fit 9 people to drive around the island and explore. We had a Nissan and a Jeep. So the Jeep was $425, Nissan was $630. Spent about $40, I think personally, on gas. The Nissan was really good on gas. I think we had to only like fill it up a little bit once. And then I would say we spent roughly like $10. I spent $10 on parking because we split it. We didn't have to pay for parking that much, but the few times we did in like downtown Waikiki, we all split it. Roughly $1,105 divided by 9 people, which is $123 each. So then next was not a big expense for everybody, but for me, you guys know how much I love to eat. We went grocery shopping, I think, like the second day there when we got the big house. So we went for like a big grocery shopping day, and we did one meal where we all ate at home together. So that was really great. The total for like all those groceries for our family meal ended up only being roughly $10 a person. It might have been less than $10. It was like $9 a person. For me personally, and I bought a lot of ice cream. I bought alcohol, I bought spiked seltzers and stuff to bring to the beach. I spent more than anybody on groceries, definitely, because I'm reckless with it. Roughly $200 on groceries at like the regular food store, and then dining out, I did not hold back. I would get $13 drinks almost everywhere. So I spent roughly, I would say, $450. Also, shout out to the couple that paid for our meal out at Roy's, which is like one of the fanciest restaurants we went to the whole week. If you want to see that story, I'll link that one up here. That is so worth watching because that restored, I'm still speechless over it. It was the most kind, generous act of kindness to strangers I've experienced in a while, and it makes me want to make a ton of money so I can go out to dinner and do that to people randomly that I'm sitting next to. Food in total, I spent roughly $650. And then shopping. So of course I have a shopping problem. I didn't go too crazy. I bought those flip-flops that I forgot to bring. They were $30, which is ridiculous. I think I bought a hat for Kevin, a hat for Shane. I had to buy sunscreen there and oil there because of course I didn't pack it, which wasn't smart, but I didn't want to have the weight in the bag, you know what I mean? Around $250. So that is another expense so the food expense and the shopping obviously expense and the souvenirs, you can absolutely cut down on that and save roughly, yikes, did I really spend that much? Okay, so that all together was $900. So that's like obviously a huge bulk of everything. If you can cut out on your food and dining out and then don't buy souvenirs for people, I just have a shopping problem and got really excited. But yeah, so total, all in all, what I spent in Hawaii for a full week was $1,608.01. While that is a lot of money, that is a nice chunk of money, I will say that it's completely doable. You can put money away and save in a little fund, and that is a full week. There were people in our group, because I asked them while I was doing the math, because I was like, is there any way that this is right, that like this is all I spent? Because for some reason I thought I spent so much more. And I asked them and they were like, yeah, I think some of us spent under $1,000. So if you cut down, I mean, just don't be as reckless with like food. I mean, if you cut out alcohol right there, you're gonna save a lot of money. You can absolutely cut down and make it an even more accessible and affordable trip. Maybe I should take my own advice and cut down a little bit on my next trips. But that Hawaii trip was one of the best ways to start 2019. And I wouldn't change anything about it. It was so much fun. It was a great learning experience traveling with complete strangers. And now we have a group of people that were always down to travel, and we have new friends, and it's honestly the coolest thing. If you guys enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and let me know below if you think I spend way too much money or you think that's actually kind of affordable or doable. Let me know below also if you want to see any other videos like this of breaking down the expenses for a trip. Every trip's different, everyone travels differently. If you were to pack a, you know, a carry-on suitcase and be able to organize yourself really well, that's $75 you're saving that you don't have to check bags. So that's another way to cut down and save. I could do a video on like little tips and tricks on like how to save money while traveling, but to be completely honest, I am not the best at saving money while traveling. I kind of just am like, hey, you're gonna go and do it, you might as well do it. All right, so this was definitely more of a trip versus a vacation. The first time I went to Hawaii, if you want to check out those vlogs with my family, I'll put them up here. That was a straight vacation. That was like a family vacation 2 years ago, and we all went together, and it was different. It wasn't, I mean, it was similar in some ways, but it was different. We were at a resort, and right there, you're gonna spend, for the amount of money I spent in a full week, you couldn't even pay to stay at a resort on an island in Hawaii for a week. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to check out the Hawaii vlogs, I'll have them in the description below. One last thing, if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me, please. Okay, love you guys, see you in my next video. I actually wore this shirt in Hawaii.
No one cares.
Hi, kids.
I can find it. I'll send it to you just in case.
Yeah, sure.
So we don't know why